Hey everyone, welcome back to Wine Not Wednesday. I'm coming at you this week from my sister's research lab at UC Santa Cruz. And we've got her dog Kiko in the background. Say hi. Yeah, that's just his tail. In today's video, I want to kind of follow up on a topic that I talked about earlier, which is negative self-talk. I did a video on negative self-talk back on June 1st, so if you guys want to go check it out and refresh a little bit more, you can do that in my earlier posts. But basically, negative self-talk is messages that we tell ourselves that are not super helpful. Often we learned them when we were really young, and we don't really know that we're even saying them to ourselves. So in today's video, what I want to go over is a way to work with negative self-talk messages that are particularly sticky or that kind of like won't go away. So you might notice this if you're trying to make a negative self-talk message more positive or more helpful, and you find that it keeps coming up anyway and like you're not able to catch it or notice it in the moment. Or maybe you're so convicted of its truth that even when you're trying to talk yourself out of it or to work with it, you're like, no, this message is true, and you're just having a hard time like refuting it for yourself. And this can happen for a few different reasons. So one is maybe if you tend to have a little bit more of a rigid personality, like you really like rules and you're kind of strict with those regulations with yourself and in your relationships. Another is if that message was told to you by someone who was really, really important in your life. And also if the message is associated with a memory where you felt either humiliated or terrified. Those ones really, really stick with us. So what I like to do when this happens is kind of close your eyes and say this message a few times over to yourself. Maybe it's not okay to show that I'm angry. It's not okay to be angry. We have to keep it to ourselves and just hide it. And as you're doing this, start to ask yourself, tune into your senses and notice whose voice is that? Who is saying those words to me? Because a lot of times what will come up is you'll see the person who actually had been saying it to you, or you'll smell them, or you'll hear their voice saying it all of a sudden. And the reason this is important is because all of a sudden we realize that this is not a hard and fast rule that we found from the universe, or it's not something that we even learned necessarily through experience was the best rule to follow. This is just something that someone told us because they probably adopted it from somewhere else and didn't have the realization to know that it was an absolute truth as well. And then you get to analyze it and think, is this rule working for me? Do I have to do it just because they said so? Is it even true? And is it even working for this other person? It just takes away a lot of its power. And so hopefully you can find some wiggle room within that, message to yourself and feel angry, feel sad, or make a mistake and be okay with it. Whatever the opposite or the more lenient version of that self-talk message happens to be. So I know this might be a little confusing or not as straightforward as it sounds. So if you guys do have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. And I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time.